as we do. Uh, I think the big question today, this is something Hungar brought up a couple of days ago. So the big question today is, and I'm going to throw a loophole in here, the who is more attractive debate. See, Hungar says the woman who played Joy from Blade Runner. I don't remember her name, Denise DeArmas or whatever. I don't know. I was, of course, pulling for Sydney Sweeney just because, right? But the black horse, I think, in this debate or discussion has to be the woman who played Love in Blade Runner, right? So that's going to be the thing we talk about. Let me see. Let me go here and type in Blade Runner. Also, it's pretty hilarious what's going on with Cracker Barrel. You know, the whole, hey, I got a great idea. Let's go super woke. Oh, shit. It turns out that a restaurant that was, built around remembering the old days of America isn't really super interested. The people who are attracted to that aren't super interested in, Pride Month and shit like that. It's like, you can't invent this shit. You know what I mean? Okay, so Anna de Armas is the one that Hungar is talking about. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Let's go back here then. Let's do this right. Um, mm, uh, I am terrible. You guys know. Quick, double check my spelling. So, Armas, okay. D, that sounds Spanish. Armas. And then the black horse. The black horse we're putting in is maybe I should put Ryan Gosling in too, since if this is a competition for the hottest like actors. Sylvia Hoeks. Okay, I'm putting something in real quick, guys. Hoax. I think, yeah, I got that right. So, boom. So it started with the debate 1 and 2, but I threw 3 in. And for those of you who don't know, Sylvia Hoeks played Love, which was what's his name's personal, you know, everything, personal assistant, let's say. Um, and I thought she was incredibly attractive in that role. You know, maybe a bit of sociopath, but I mean, hey, you know, that would be spot on for me anyway. Wow, they packed this thing good. Okay. I don't know if they know what scale is in England, right? It's like 28 millimeter in England doesn't seem to be the same as 28 millimeter in America, you know. The British seem to be a little bit smaller, but it's not going to matter. So, anyone who wants to comment on that, you are more than welcome to. It's a bit many though, but I can't help but feel like that's almost like a 20 mil figure. I mean, that's a tiny figure compared to like, let me grab like a normal figure to judge it by. This guy is about normal scale. Yeah, that is tiny, but whatever. I got it. And I'm going to do something I thought about doing with all my sci-fi figures. And that is mount it on a 1-inch hex base. And for those of you who don't know, it's a Bene Gesserit, but very small. Uh, the miniature is small, but like I said, that's not a big deal because, I mean, in the Dune game, if I ever use miniatures, I can still use it and just say she's very small, you know? That's the thing when you're dealing with a bunch. Say you're playing a game, a role playing game, and there's all kinds of different scales of miniatures involved. It's not that big of a deal because you can just say it represents the actual humans, and all humans are not exactly the same size. So having a little Bene Jesuit sister that's like, you know, 5'1" or 4'11" or something, that's actually kind of cool, you know. It actually will maybe add to the whole believability of the setting that you're trying to portray, you know, right? By saying she's very short. Okay, now that she's on her base, she's still very short, but she's not bad. Yeah. So there's 3 of you watching. Somebody put something into the chat so that I can see that chat's working. And you guys can hear me. Never know with this damn computer. You know what I mean? So I got this starship. That is a pretty cool looking starship, right? And mass-wise, I compared it to a Star Frontiers battleship. Mass-wise, they're about the same. Even though this looks bigger, it's flat. Whereas the Star Frontier ships are, you know, cylinders. So it's about the same mass as a starship or a battleship from Star Frontiers. But of course, you would have to, you know, design it. The good news is Star Frontiers has a ship design mechanism within the game. Uh, Damn it, Nighthawks, I believe it's called. I'd have to look in my library to see the official name because I forgot it. Been waiting for these for a while. Man, I just love. I mean, who doesn't love bubble wrap, right? There's just something awesome about bubble wrap. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can make up my mind about those three. I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here. And I am going to say that it might sound weird to people watching, right? Because everybody, of course, loved Joy. Everybody loved Joy. And why wouldn't you love Joy? Joy in, you know, Blade Runner was absolutely a great character, well played by an incredibly beautiful young woman, right? But I kind of like Love better. And then you just got to throw Sydney Sweeney into any argument because it just pisses all the right people off. You know, the fact that there could be, you know, a hot blonde. Well, she's not even blonde; she's brunette. She dyed her hair blonde. She's got dark hair. Her hair's pretty dark. But the fact that there's a hot, you know, somewhat conservative chick out there in the universe has just got all the right people completely pissed off. And, you know, I am, if nothing else, an admirer of chaos. I actually love it. You know, when you go on X and everyone on X is just ripping each other a new ass, it makes me giggle because I'm just like, look at these idiots, right? I mean, because the joke here is it doesn't really even matter. It's like, okay, you think Sydney Sweeney saw her. All right. Doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't change anything. But people, man, they will die on the weirdest hills. Um, Also, if any of you watched Double D last night, that's a pretty good show, right? I hope you enjoyed it. Me, because I'm me, and I'm starting to worry that maybe I've got like a obsession. I have ordered, like I said, you can literally get anything off of Etsy, pretty much. I mean, up to and maybe including like a 19-year-old Vietnamese whore. I don't know. I mean, Etsy's crazy. There's a lot of stuff there, right? But what I did is I got all of these 3D printed buildings that go with a, you know, Battle for Arrakis, and they come with these little colored bases, and there's the different colors, right? So that you can mark like this. You can pop this in, and then you can see that the red team owns this, right? And then like here's a little village or a siege or whatever, and you know you just pop in whichever color owns it, right? And you're good to go. And of course, the game is uh, it's a game. They got a name for it, but basically, where both sides have different win conditions. Like the Atreides side with Paul, His win condition is to get prescient and become the Kwisatz Haderach. And the Harkonnen's win condition is just to wipe out all the Fremen Sieges. So the Harkonnens basically got, I think, the simpler win condition, really, because, like I said, their whole deal is wipe out all the Fremen. Which, now this is cool. This is cool. I might need to get in touch with my brother real quick too. This is a sci-fi house. Perfect for use for like Star Wars, Legion, or any other game in which you need a sci-fi house. That the roof comes off. And it's got, you can see the notches here, and they got matching ones, so you can just pop the roof on. And we'll figure out how we want to paint this. I mean, do we want to paint it concrete gray? Do we want to do like a more deserty thing? I don't know. You know, I don't know. That could be another thing. Either way, I'll have to buy a rattle can, I think, because I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to, you know, spend that much time like. Okay, why am I? Okay, we'll put that in too. And then it's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. Let's go here, go here. Last time I was streaming, and it turned out I wasn't actually streaming for like an hour. So I need my brother to let me know if I'm actually streaming or not. Where is my brother? How's he not in the top 3? It's crazy. He's the one I call more than anyone else on the planet. Okay. So first off, I know I say this every time, I need to get a mouse. Like just a cheap one for this computer, so that I don't have to use the little mouse pad thing, because I am not good at it at all. Like for real. Not very good at it at all. Maybe here in a second we'll listen to the new Tom McDonald song. We'll see how much how people feel about that. What? No. What is going on here? This thing is very sensitive, but only when it wants to be. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you're clicking on it and you're like, come on, right? And it's just not going to do anything. Asmongold slams Patino defenders. I need to look at that. I'll admit that I'm retarded. That's Asmongold. He's a nice guy. What? So vibes. Vibes. Apparently, Anya Taylor Joy. Not Andre. Is the stream on? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I never know. Andre Joy from Blade Runner was played by Ana de Armas, but it's Joi. So if you're talking about a different Joy, then okay. And then the second question is, if I paint these, I mean, the buildings already come in this deserty color, and the windows and stuff, I can easily just glue some clear plastic in there. Um, so now the thing is to decide whether uh, I want to go with a weird, like a desert color or a concrete color, etc. The stream is on. I was trying to get my brother on, actually. And I'm getting ready to aggravate him even more, which unfortunately you guys can only see my face. So I'm sorry because I can't really share this. I mean, but yeah, I'm getting ready to harass the shit out of him. Right, let's give him a call. I sent you a link, man. You still fighting with your internet. Well, I mean, if your phone's good for a little while, I sent you a link. I don't know what that means. Oh. Oh, damn. Hung up. That was messed up. But yeah, I can see George there. Make the Fremen speak with a Greek accent. Chakopsa is basically a really I mean, start off with like the Egyptian language, so Arabic, and then 10,000 years of language drift, and you end up with Chicopsa, because the original Fremen were Egyptians, and they were ran off of Earth because of their religion, which is like a Zen Sunni thing. So mostly Arabic, but with a lot of like Taoism and Buddhism thrown in. So yeah, but there's another reason though that I can't do what you asked me to do, and that is because in the universe I am playing in, the Fremen have been, as far as anyone knows, completely exterminated from Arrakis. The Emperor allowed his Sardaukar to run amok in the streets, and they committed genocide on the Fremen. The Fremen are gone. The various nobles on Arrakis, there are some people who still are hunting for like relics from the Fremen, and some people keep things like crysknives and stuff, like, just to show off. But yeah, no Fremen. Now, as the DM, I know the secret, but as far as the players know, there are no Fremen. The Imperial Sardaukar wiped them all out. Okay, here we have another little building. This one is completely sealed up. No way to get into it, but that's okay. I don't even, yeah, there's a door right there. And we've got this one here, which is like a bunker. Badook, Hungar. There he is. See, adding you to the stream is how I know the stream. I put a poll up in the.
You see my title?
Yeah. Look at the poll I put up. Yes, look at the poll I put up at the top of chat.
Concrete, gray, desert, or other?
Well, that's for these buildings. Above that.
Sydney Sweeney, Ana de Armas, or Sylvia Hocus?
Sylvia Hocus is the lady who played Love.
Ana de Armas.
I kind of knew, but I just wanted to have that a thing. Yeah, all the Fremen, though, are speaking Greek.
I don't know. Are you sure that the Fremen are Egyptian and not Jewish? I mean, the Jews have been kicked out of a lot of places.
Yes, because if you go far enough in the lore in Chapter House Dune, the Bene Gesserits actually team up with the Jews who have survived in hiding to save the Bene Gesserit, their group memory.
Yeah, it's not their fault that they were in high, being kicked off of places. I mean, they were promised it 3,000 years ago.
Anyway, thought the options related to who was most attractive. I arrived late. I'm code farming out my AIs personally while listing before I launch it. I don't even know what code framing your AIs means, Andre, because I'm a Luddite. Yeah, it's who is the most attractive, and you think it's Joy. Joy is attractive. Chechens, I don't think so, but they could be. I would have to double check that. I was pretty sure that I read they were from Egypt, but I mean, being
Dang.
Chechen wouldn't change much, except that their language would be the Chechen language, except 10,000 years of you know, linguistic drift.
I was watching a little video short about a special forces guy, and he said the most afraid he had ever been was a big redheaded dude speaking
Yeah,
Arabic with an AK because he was like, that guy's a Chechnyan, and he's not
yeah.
gonna.
That was the guy was in freaking Afghanistan,
Yeah, he said those
and he
Chechnyan.
said on the other side he saw the big white guy with the red hair,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Don't let that guy capture you because you know
he said
he'll
you
be
don't
really bad."
want that. He
Yeah, I
said
saw it too.
that's a good time.
Yeah, apparently the Chechen fighters during or the Chechen volunteers that fought for the Afghan Mujahideen or whoever, they were pretty fearsome guys. Like, and not a whole lot of mercy or anything built into them. Whereas, but then again, I mean, they did get their asses handed to them twice by the Russians. Well,
Well, yeah,
specifically the Soviet Union, right? And that was when
a
Russia
lot of
was
people.
soft.
A lot of people get their asses kicked by the Russians. If you don't, Napoleon.
Well, you know who kicked Napoleon's ass? Napoleon. Sometimes it's possible to believe your own hype. At which point, you know,
Never.
yeah, exactly. Don't invade Russia in the winter. It's not smart, or anywhere near the winter. But you know what the problem with invading Russia is? If you invade in the spring, it has 2 feet of the stickiest, nastiest mud you ever saw. What's up, Crafting Gamer? How you doing, homie? We're over here doing a little crafting too, except I'm doing lazy crafting. And by lazy crafting, I mean I had somebody use a filament printer and print some buildings for me for a one-page skirmish game I'm going to play with somebody, probably my other brother Warren, and it's going to be Sardaukar versus Atreides house troops or something
I've
like
been
that.
thinking about getting a filament printer.
Filament printers, one, they're getting better every day. And the other thing is, depending on the one you get, they're the ones you want if you're going to like print buildings and gigantic stuff, like
An AR
you want to
card.
print like an actual Boba Fett helmet or some shit. You get a filament printer and you might have to print it in pieces, but yeah, and another thing about filament printing that uh, I can say with authority because I am a resin printer, is filament printing is way less toxic than having to deal with resin. Oh, see that? Yeah, Elegoo just put out a new one that's got like a point something. Like I think it's a 2 millimeter nozzle.
Can't you print like
So,
stocks and that with the filament printer?
huh?
Like stocks.
Yeah, yeah. The new Elegoo one that they were advertising, it's got a huge build plate. It can print out. It's getting to where the filament printers are going to be able to print out miniatures that will damn near be as good as resin printing. And like I said, no toxins. because that resin, you gotta wear gloves. You get that shit on you, it soaks into your hand, will destroy your kidneys. Right? It might if you're
Don't need any of that.
and if you're young enough that you're thinking about having children, it could cause your children to be born with webbed feet or some weird shit. So yeah, you gotta watch out. Where's filament printers? You know, and nowadays a lot of them are built with like exhaust fans and every other thing, and you know, unless you're like directly leaning over the build plate while it's working and trying to inhale as much of the plastic gas off gas in as but I mean, you're never gonna have a problem. And then on top of that, like I said, let's say you run a D&D game and you're like, you know, I want to make a tavern. You can go online and find a 28 or 32 millimeter scale tavern that can be 5 stories tall. And, you know, in a week or so with a filament printer, a good one, you will have that thing built. You just got to
I
paint
seen
it.
this.
I mean, look at
Chick.
this thing. And it has a roof.
I seen a
But
chick.
you see, this thing was built directly on a plate. And apparently it didn't take them too long because when I ordered it from the dude who lives in Florida, he said he sent me a thing saying I'll start on your thing, right? And then like a week later, boom, I got my things. So
That's chick. It took her about a month, but she printed out an 8-foot tall Space Marine. She had to put him together, but she like backpack, bolter, chainsword, everything. Printed it out, put it together, and then painted it up. But she painted it up as a freaking Smurf.
well, I mean that just means you know that she's a tourist.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it still looks nice.
Yeah. But anytime you see somebody with ultramarine space marines, what they're telling you is they actually don't know the lore and they haven't been playing the game very long.
Yeah.
Or the 1% of the group that actually just really likes freaking ultramarines and Rabot Guilliman. But those guys are kind of rare. Like Craig at the comic shop, he didn't like the ultramarines.
No.
But the comic shop needed an army for the shop, and that is the army they were basically forced to paint. Ultramarines. Because Ultramarines are the, you know, for whatever reason, they're the whatever. But yeah, you know, George, you remind me of something that I was talking to somebody about actually on a chat, you know, so we're on Discord. A lot of people, myself included, are starting to get really aggravated at like the miniatures have too much detail. It's like, I mean, you want the miniature to have some detail, obviously, right? You want to see heads and faces and maybe a little muscles, whatever, right? Armor, etc. Sure, but some of these minis, whether they're resin STLs or you know companies are making them, they have way too much detail, and that makes them.
I don't know why you got to worry so much about miniatures when the perfect miniature has already been designed and is for free on
Dude, I
Colts.
already got it. Everybody's got it. We all know.
Yeah, and it's the perfect miniature.
Well, it's actually a pretty good miniature because it strikes up a good it strikes a really good balance between simple and detail.
Elegant, yes.
Yeah.
Dare I say, perfect.
And that was something we were talking about. It's like old school Space Marines, they weren't that detailed, man. Like
they didn't need to.
Yeah, they didn't need to be. You know, you put your tactical squad together, and if you want to get crazy, maybe glue a couple purity seals on. But ultimately, they were just Space Marines, you know. And now
You,
the
you
new
know,
ones,
I picked up some of the newer Space Marines about 6 months ago, and it was putting those sons of bitches together reminded me a lot of a deep freaking car model, all the different parts.
yeah,
Before you'd have
yeah, you're getting
to
all crazy. You need to,
the freaking torso,
yeah, no one can understand a word you just said.
head to the that.
Yeah, no one can understand anything you're saying. You went robotic. But he has a good point, and it is a good point. It's like I was bitching about yesterday. Used to, if you bought Devastators, Tactical Marines, Assault Marines, whatever, you could clip all the pieces, every single piece out, and clean them all up and whatever, you know, make sure you got the tabs off and whatever, right? And then have this big pile of arms and legs and torsos and whatever it laying on a table. And then you could just start grabbing whichever pieces you wanted and gluing them together and make Space Marines, because every piece, every arm and every leg and every torso and every head and every backpack fit every other one. It was truly a modular system, right? And if you were a good modeler, you could actually like paint them up so that they would be in action poses. Like one thing I figured out is how to use a little green stuff to just barely alter how the uh, arm that holds the bolter fit the torso, so that I could make my Space Marines look like they actually had the bolter up and put the head on and tilt it. And now it looks like he's looking down the sights at you, right? Yeah, I feel that, Ongar. Nothing but love, though. Um, and you, so I bought, of course, a bunch of Devastator box sets and traded for other, the legs that were kneeling. And I made a whole firing line of Lamentor Space Marines that were down on one knee aiming down the bolter, you know, because I just thought it was cool. You could do that. New Space Marines, they are all monopose, right? That's why they come with that big instruction letting you know that arm C12 goes with, you know, torso, whatever, C13 or whatever. And I mean, you might have an option with weapons, but you do not have an option to actually be creative with Space Marine figures. And the second thing is, I wish I had one around. Now, Sanguinius up there, even he's not over complicated. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff on him, but he's not over complicated. But I painted up a Dark Angels captain. Oh my God. You know, it's like, why? Right? It's like, I know he's a captain, but in the old days, the Space Marine captains, generally they had a cloak and some extra purity seals and maybe a skull or something, you know. It wasn't like, you know, some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, one more reason to bitch about Games Workshop and any other company that decides to go down that thing, you know. And I'm going to quote one of my favorite actors here, Jeff Goldblum, when he says, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should. And that definitely applies with miniatures. So if any STL designers are out there, because, you know, they're all over the place. One of them made Hungar his very own figure, right? Please, for the love of God, when you make your figures, don't go crazy with the detail. You know, just, you know, get it where it needs to be. If you find, but this is something I heard about art, and you guys can comment on this or not, if you've heard it. I've heard that the hardest part of being an artist is knowing when to stop. Now, if any of you guys out there are artists and I'm wrong, tell me no, that's not true. I don't consider myself an artist because I paint little figures and sometimes houses. I consider myself a hobbyist. To me, art has to be something beautiful that evokes an emotion. So I use the actual classic definition of art. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to evoke emotion. This house is not beautiful. It's a concrete house with a refrigerator unit on the roof and a couple of vent fans. So, yeah, again, that's another of my big pet peeves, though, with Games Workshop. It's just, they don't know when to stop, you know. Critical, what up, what up? If you are a Grim, let me know, because a Grim's got like 50 accounts, and I never know if I'm talking to my boy from Punjabi, a Grim. Talked to him the other day, but you know, I worry about him. I worry about anyone that lives on that. Agrim. I have a friend who lives in India. His name is Agrim, like one word, and he's got, like, I shit you not, 10 Twitch accounts. I'm Grim. No, or maybe are you Grim? I don't know. You can be Grim if you want to be. You know, the world is full of, yeah, it's like that, a Grim. And you know, we talk sometimes, and I worry about anybody that lives in that region, because you know those cats are always about 5 minutes away from somebody nuking someone else. So, I mean, luckily we managed to end the last war before it got good and going, you know. But they were already starting to shoot each other's fighter planes down and shit. Tell you what, man, eyes and peas. The eyes and peas. A long, long time ago, there used to be a military theory that World War III would be started by the eyes and the peas, one of them. And if you ask, well, what is that even? What are you talking about? It was India, Pakistan, or Israel, Palestine. Eyes and peas. So, plus they're having a whole deal over there right now, because I think the Punjabi region where all the Sikh live is trying to be an independent nation. And oh no, I'm good. I live in Orlando. The chances of me being nuked are pretty much zero. I mean, unless there's some person out there with nuclear weapons that just really hates this is the table. And if you're talking about my hands shaking a lot, I'm good, but my hands have always shaken a lot. But believe me, I've took my clonazepam today and all my other medications I'm forced to take. So I'm good, man. And I am painting a FDM printed building. That's what I do. Like, I hang out with the wife. I do some stuff, and then I come in here for 2 hours to paint miniatures, and then I go back in there and we watch a movie together. Tonight's going to be awesome because that's filament printers. Because you've got two kinds of printers. You've got filament and you've got resin. Resin printer is like this. This is an unpainted, cured resin miniature. They can have really, really crisp detail, right? But the problem is the resin you use is poisonous as hell. So if you don't wear gloves and, you know, a face mask, you'll end up, you know, with kidney damage. And I mean, it's a thing, right? Whereas FDM, they can't make a figure as detailed as that, but they're great for just making buildings and stuff. So, you know, and they're cheap in America, at least. You can get like, well, Elegoo, I think, is a Chinese company, but you can get like a state of the art Elegoo filament printer for not very much money, really. I mean, much cheaper than the resin printers. So I have painted this building in case any of you wonder, because I do have hobbyists who watch with dun, 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 prepare to be shocked, guys. Yes, a lot of times 3D printed buildings I paint with apple barrel paint, at least for the first coat. Godspeed, James and Hungar. Work is extremely so-sucking today. Well, Godspeed to you, Diver, and hopefully the rest of your day will go quick. In a good way. In a good way, man. But I've had those days too. I know how it is. One day, 25 years from now, Diver, you'll be drinking coffee at 5 in the morning and looking out the window of your house to make sure no kids are running around in your yard. And you'll be all right. No, I actually paid a guy to make these, but the thing is FDM printed buildings, depending on who you go to and how complicated they are, can be incredibly reasonable. To the point that it's just more cost effective to pay a guy to print the building than it would be to try to build it yourself or something. I learned that because you can barely see, but in that back corner, just to my left of my crucifix, you can see that blue thing, right? That's the Halcyon lander. I built that with a Mars 2 Pro, which meant I had to print out around 54 parts and then, you know, sand them and glue them together. And everything about was not good because, again, that the resin, you know, even if you cure it, when you're sanding it, you don't want to inhale that dust, eat your lungs up, right? Put it all together, probably $100+ in resin, or I could have just went on Etsy and bought the damn thing for about the same, and somebody would have just printed it out and sent it to me. So I'm getting to where, like, for anything bigger than a miniature, you know, it's not even worth my time to use the resin and to try to print that shit out. Now, if I'm just making, like, you know, standard miniatures for a war game, then the resin printer makes a lot more sense because, you know, I can print out 20 spearmen in like an hour and a half, and then, you know, cure them with the UV light, paint them up, they're ready to go, right? This guy I need to put in the container with his friends, but pretty happy with him. The paint job's not great because I'm not a good painter like some of my friends are, but see, it's not going to focus in because my camera is that way. Oh, there it is. It focused in. Yeah. A lot of you may not know, but that is the Watchman comedian. And that's why he's got the little yellow smiley face spin, because I got a bunch of superheroes 3D printed, because I've fallen out of love with D&D pretty hardcore. And in the future, I will run probably sci-fi games, and possibly, if my players are down with it, and I know a couple of them would be, superhero games. Of course, I'll have to learn how to run a superhero game. Because, I mean, fantasy games are easy. You know, the group gets together in a tavern. I mean, I'm simplifying the idea, but you guys get what I'm saying. The group gets together in a tavern. They find out there's a dungeon somewhere nearby. We're in, you know, there's a lot of loot. There's some interaction, you know. They look for, if they're smart, they try to talk to all the town folk to get any rumors they can about the dungeon, right? And then they go into the dungeon, and every kind of a, you know, a binary type choice, you know. There's no other option. You can take the left door or the right door. But then when you're playing a superhero, 50 United States, Canada, Mexico. I mean, what if it bounced? It's like can fly. Then it you have to be a lot more. It's like, who is this? And what of their village be 6 orcs sitting around a fire playing dice? That's not going to work with superheroes. You know, you got to pick the villain, and then using what you know about the villain, pick the crime the villain's trying to do. And then knowing that, the superheroes will be able to try to stop the villain. But yeah, it's a whole different freaking ballpark is what I'm saying, though. Like, it's not a different ballpark. It's just a completely different game, you know. To use a sports analogy, it's the difference between cricket and American football. You know, cricket is very orderly, whereas, hey, Bruce, homie, how you doing? I hope you're doing wonderful, my man. I'm just sitting here talking game theory a little bit about the differences between running fantasy and other games, and why fantasy is the easiest. It doesn't have to be, but it typically is. Now, if you wanted to be crazy, you could come up with a fantasy world every bit as in depth as like Tolkien, and you could really go for the super immersive, you know, style of gaming. Last load. That's what she said. Or you can just play the simple beer and pretzels, kick doors in, you know, kill orcs, take treasure, you know, but like superhero games, you can't do that, right? Because in a superhero game, the villain's motivations are every bit as important, if not more so, than the players. I mean, the player's motivation is to stop the villain. But what is the villain's motivation, right? It's like if you are a Batman fan, why does the Joker do what the Joker does? Because he doesn't need to do it. The Joker literally has so much money, he could retire to freaking Miami Beach and, you know what I mean? And never deal with it again. Of course, he won't, because he's super obsessed with Batman to the point of, insanity. Hey, Shadow. But that is a huge difference between a fantasy role-playing game and a superhero game.
Hey,
Hey, what is up?
I got an idea for a fantasy setting. It's your typical normal fantasy setting with a magic system, but actually the magic system's actually future tech that was made by people long ago.
Yeah, I think it already exists. It's called Adventure Conqueror King.
Really?
Yeah, in Adventure Conqueror King, one of the like bonus classes you can play if the DM allows is like a Starfleet officer that got slung through time and is now, on that world.
But actually, the magic in this one is actually nanotech that will just take people's commands.
Yeah.
And if you're smart enough, you'll actually be able to talk to the nanotech.
Let me ask you something, Les.
What?
Have you been reading Empire of the East?
Nope. I don't even know what that is.
It is a amazing, tremendously awesome book written by Fred Saberhagen. And in Empire of the East, magic works, but you find out at a point that what magic actually is nanobites floating invisibly, of course, through the air. And what you think wizards are just the people who have trained their minds to be able to cause the nanobites to do things.
Well, actually, I was referencing an anime that had a similar idea, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a super new idea, I guess.
Nah.
I mean, yeah, of course you could do that, but I mean, the question would be why? Or Dying Earth, or Arduin, yes.
Hey,
Gamma
look,
World,
Jake,
definitely. Thundar the Barbarian, definitely.
If you did, your character could have a companion called Clippy.
Well, dude, Jason and the Argonauts, they had a robotic owl that Athena gave them. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, he's having troubles.
Well, it ain't easy being Canadian these days.
Yeah, the anime I was talking about, the main character was just wanting to be average in her abilities in her next life when she got reincarnated. And whenever they did it, well, they made her average for the entire planet. So for a human, she's like insanely powerful. But that's because humans are, not not that powerful compared to other creatures in the world.
Mm.
And, that character would probably be me in a fantasy setting. Because I'd probably make
just reviewed Empire of the East on the book club. Yeah. So, Yep. Empire of the East, Twitch, Shadow, I'm sure leads directly to the Sword books, which there's a whole series of those. It's the same world. It's just like 1,000 years in the future. I got a private chat. I'm special. Bear is back. Okay. Let's see if Bear's back. Because it didn't show him being back, but I see him now.
Yeah, special also means retarded. Just so we're clear.
I wasn't making any differentiation.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed with Restream and Brave don't like each other So every time I do something on Restream with Brave, it's got camera issues, it's got microphone issues. It's like, so I'm using Chrome for this now.
That's weird. I'm using Brave and it seems to work fine.
You're on a PC. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't know. I didn't know you were on a Mac.
I haven't said it like a million fucking times.
Yeah.
You have no fucking situational awareness left. That's your problem. You don't pay attention.
I don't. I think maybe he just doesn't remember, but yeah,
I think he doesn't give a fuck.
you've
I think
been
he
here
just
when
doesn't
I've
care.
kind of dogged him out for having a Mac. Being like, what do you think you are? You know, some kind of music producer or something?
I'm just an asshole.
Because
Just a dick.
that's
Just
what
a dick.
Macs are good for. They're good for, like, you know, doing shit like that. But for basically everything else in the world, you're better off with a
No, you're not. Because
PC.
here's the difference between you and me. You go to a web page and you have to worry about all these things attacking your computer. I go to a web page and don't have to worry about that shit because one, no one writes it to attack Mac because there's not enough of a market share, and two, they have a very good operating system that's very secure,
Mhm.
based on Unix, no less. Thank you, Shadow.
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
God, my
I'm waiting
camera's
for
split.
Mac to actually make a computer with actual cooling in it.
Why? It doesn't need it. That's the difference. We don't run octane levels like a PC. See, when you build your computer properly, you don't need all that shit. The problem is PCs don't build their stuff properly. They just build it like, how much energy can we get out of this? How much processing we do? Go, go, go. And then they don't
Let me
worry
ask
about
you.
the overall picture.
Whenever an iPad, like one of those MacBooks, has a fan off to the side, not attached to the CPU at all, and the
Am I on a
CPU
MacBook?
dies.
Did I say I'm on a MacBook? No, I'm on a Mac.
No.
So I don't give a fuck about your MacBook. All laptops are shit. Mac, PC, all of them. Laptops are shit.
My laptop is cool, and I bought one of those little cooling things to set it on.
Oh, those are neat. Like the platform that you sit it on, and it blows air into it and it protects your
Yeah,
nuts.
it's got like all the fans that blow air
Yeah,
up
those
through
are
it.
cool. Those are very cool.
So, because the problem is with laptops, a major problem is you buy a laptop, it's got the processing strength, you got a good graphics card in there so you can actually play the badass games. But laptops will get hot so quick.
Yep.
So
I
you
know.
buy that little cooling thing and then you're fine, man. You can just go nuts.
Well, yeah, plus
Probably
they're
should've
discovering it
watched
was
it.
having an adverse effect on men's sperm counts having a laptop on their lap, you know?
One time I was playing with my laptop on my chest. I was laying down and I wasn't paying attention. And like when I got up to take a shower, I took my shirt off and I had the grill marks from the bottom of my laptop on my chest.
Wow.
Like it had literally like made red grill marks. I was cooking myself with that freaking laptop.
Ah, that reminds me.
Great
whenever I
thumbnail for
became a
painting.
laptop.
My thumbnails often have nothing to do with anything. Like I'll put down that I'm gonna bitch about the EU or something, and then I'll put a picture of like the Orphan Brigade from Kentucky during the Civil War or some shit. Like don't get too hung up on I mean the first question I did ask everyone though was Sydney Sweeney, what's her name? Armas, which is the woman who played Joy in Blade Runner. And then the dark horse I had to throw in was the lady who played Love in Blade Runner. And then number 4 would obviously be Ryan Gosling. For who's the most attractive person you think of this list? And yes, I would throw Ryan Gosling in. I'm straight, but Ryan Gosling is a damn good looking guy. You know what I mean? I can say that. I can look at a guy and be like, damn, you are a handsome dude. And it doesn't make me weird. And I'll tell you what, Sydney Sweeney is very attractive, but Hungar does have a point. The lady who played Joy, she's pretty hot too. And then there's something about Love. I think it's the murderousness of her that is kind of a turn on to me. You know what I mean? Her efficiency and willingness to kill a lot of people.
Yeah, Anna de Armas is pretty fucking hot, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you see her naked for like half of Blade Runner 2047. I mean,
Yeah.
like that's like half of the movie is gigantic, de Armas, buck ass naked, trying to advertise, I need a companion, buy a Joy.
The question becomes, if you were a single man in that world, would you buy one?
No.
You're a single man. You're not a married man. You're single.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
heard
chance
what
of
you
getting
said.
any company. You're on your own. There's no dating. Forget about it. You would shun any type of companionship, even artificial?
Well, I mean, now you're making it where it's like so binary. It's like either you're lonely as hell your whole life or you got joy.
Well, that's where we're heading. Like, that's where we're heading, though, right?
But in the Blade Runner universe, I could always save up money and buy a replicant.
Yeah, they're really expensive.
They are. But good news is in 2049 or whatever, they showed that you can rent them.
The Immortal Lock? What the fuck's the Immortal Lock?
I don't know if you want to play the best Quake experience. Oh, it's a Quake map pack.
Oh, fuck off.
I remember Quake. What?
I remember.
Quake like a big thing in like 2000?
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. Hey, William.
Oh, here's Shadow. Wow. But
What's up, John?
yeah, I mean, if you've got the credits, you can always go rent a replicant.
Eesh, ugh.
I don't know that Finnish woman.
I
was
don't envy the
pretty
guy who's
all
cleaning
right.
that mess.
Yeah.
The one that was like, this man is a Blade Runner. And she went back to whatever she was doing. Yeah. And he's like, what do you see? And she's like, man eating rice.
I haven't seen them recent theaters.
If it were not for Wallace's greenhouse technology, humanity, especially in America, would have died after we lost the war against the Soviets.
I have not seen any of what you guys are talking about.
Blade Runner
Blade Runner.
2049?
Yeah, no,
You haven't seen it?
no.
Why not?
To be honest, I don't watch a lot of anything other than YouTube. I just don't. I don't watch that much YouTube. I do more reading than anything else.
God, I wish I could do that.
I'm getting ready to. Apparently, I jumped the gun. There's this thing, Sumerian September, where everybody does Conan crap, and here I am doing it in August. So I guess I'll be doing it for 2 months instead of just one, because I have.
Or you could just live your own life and not do what everybody else does. Crazy thought.
Yeah,
Crazy thought.
yeah. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
that's
we are.
no fun.
Now, actually, what I was actually planning on, while everybody else is covering Conan next month, I'm going to cover as much as I can Fafford and the Grey Mouser, because I loved them almost as much, and they never got the credit or love that they deserved as fictional characters in
Are
fictional
you
worlds.
insane? The amount of Lankmar material that's been produced over the years, they've got plenty of love.
Really,
Oh yeah.
I mean, other than a couple of comic books, the stuff that TSR did back in the late '80s, I'm not really aware of anything.
I have the DCC box set for Lang.
Oh yeah.
And
I know.
the 12 or 13 adventures modules they put out for Lankmar.
Yeah,
a ton of stuff.
I'm not a
They
big.
put out a ton of stuff.
Who does?
But
Who
you
does
have something I want, which is you have two things I want. One, you have Chill by Pacesetter, the box set. Fucking hate that you have that because it's so retardedly expensive on the second
And
market.
two
But
is
you also
hair.
have Thieves World.
and number two?
Thieves
I already
World.
said.
Oh, Thieves World was a gift.
I don't care. You still have it,
imagine-
and I don't.
It's like this, Bear. Once upon a time, and not really that long ago, I had nothing. I was living hotel to hotel, flat fucking broke, lost everything. Um,
So now we know why he started up his gay porn film industry.
yeah, no, that never happened. You pick a thing and you put a little money away for it, and you set yourself a budget, and eventually it'll come your way.
Yeah,
And if
no,
you-
dude,
if you do
I'm
stuff
okay.
in-
Listen, don't talk like some fucking boomer chick with her manifesting horse shit.
No, fuck that.
You know, I don't buy any of that garbage. I live in a world where right now I make barely enough money to pay rent, buy groceries, and pay my bills every month, and it's getting more expensive every month. So this idea of you just put a little bit of something aside, all you people with like multiple income families where like your wives work or whatever, fuck all of you, okay? I'm a single income asshole with 2 cats.
Well,
My buddy that I work with, right? We were both bitching because our company cut our hours this summer down to 20. He's like, yeah, I know, man, it's really hard. I'm like, fuck you. Your wife works full time as a nurse. She makes a lot of fucking money. I'm like, shut up. I'm like one bad check away from the street. You're one bad check away from, I guess we'll have bologna this week, honey. Like, Jesus Christ. Perspective, you asshole.
I literally haven't had bologna in 40 years.
See? Yeah, fucking no baloney privilege showing motherfucker.
No, I made some good investments early on after all that, and budgeting is key, man. You find all the crap that's just sucking money out of your life, and
Yeah,
and
groceries. Yeah, electricity. Yeah, rent.
Look,
Fucking just sucks
do
the
you, I
money
mean,
out
do
of my life.
you pay for any streaming services?
No,
When he
dude.
says good investments, he means he met a Russian sailor in a bar once and bought
Oh,
like 5 grams of heroin.
Oh my God, no.
Спасибо, товарищ.
It's funny, but no, no.
And then he took that and he like sold it for like 20 times more than he paid for it. And like he's been
No,
set
see,
ever since. Really.
the idea that you have extra money to invest, a buddy of mine invests, right? He does very well. But he had money from when his parents died, right? So he got an inheritance and he was able to use that investment. Plus, he inherited their portfolio. He said, you invest. I'm like, dude, if I have an extra $50 in a month, it's a miracle month. You know what I mean? Like, woo, you know what I mean? Like this whole idea.
No, I can't
of
imagine that anymore.
investing.
I've been really,
Ooh.
really lucky and blessed. But one of the things I did was I went through everything that I owned, like my games and stuff, and unfortunately, I sold a bunch of it and used that money to start up another side hustle.
Yeah, I get you, man. And that side hustle was, trafficking in transgender men. I get it. It's okay.
No. Honestly, it was buying and selling lead miniatures.
And the Saudis really do like their chicks with dicks, so that's good money when you can get it.
So gross, dude. That's so gross.
Hear that? I'm gross. Yes, I am. You lick your own asshole, but I'm gross.
So wait. You're into chicks with dicks? I that's something new.
I said Saudis. Saudis. The guys with all the
then
money.
what do you do that's gross?
Talking
That's
about
what I
cat.
really
Never mind. Your
Okay.
humor is wasted on the ignorant. Bye, Beans.
The
Notice Left doesn't even talk anymore. He's just like scared to talk, I think, at this point.
No, I'm not scared.
Left just doesn't talk when he has nothing to add.
Yeah.
There's a
And
shot in
us
there, but I'm going to let it
busting
pass.
Shadow's balls. Left doesn't really have much to add to that.
I'm sorry, what was that about Shadow's balls?
Us busting Shadow's balls.
Okay, I was like, whoa, what the fuck did I
It's
miss
not
there?
really something Left has a lot to add to. It's like
Yeah.
It's okay, Left. You'll come up with something and it'll be like one of those,
it'll be like 3 in
Home
the
runs.
morning.
Yeah, because this is
You'll be
usually
laying
Left's
in bed
usual
and you'll be
comeback.
like, damn, I should have said that. That would have been funny as hell.
Yeah, because his usual comeback is, I gotta go, and then he's gone. That's
Yeah. There you go. Click.
I gotta go, guys.
So hey, Left.
And you punch out like a fucking jet jock who's about to crash. By the way, there's no dilly dally when Let says he's going. I gotta go. Gone.
Yeah,
You know?
like, he's like,
I notice a lot of people are like that. They're just like, like if I do a show like the book club and some of the other shows that I do, as soon as I end the show, they don't even stick around, for like a couple of minutes. They're just gone.
Oh, we have Daniel Kearney, our age, but Daniel. He plays in one of my games, and we had to tell him after the second session, dude, wait until it's over because we have a conversation about the game after. Because he's just like, all right, great, bye, click. It's like, dude,
that's the way Bloodworth's game is too. There's none of that. There's no before or after. Just chit chatting. Getting to know each other. We've been gaming together for 3 years almost. I don't know anything about any of these guys. The same, half a dozen. Sometimes it's more or less same people. Sometimes new people. Before the show, nothing. After the show, even less.
Without,
and it's not even live.
Details, he lives in New York. He's a teacher. He was in the Army a long time ago.
Oh no, I know plenty about Bloodworth. I mean the other gamers.
Oh well,
I've been on Bloodworth's show, other shows, and we've talked about all kinds of crap.
Me and Bloodworth have chatted a number of times. I think I really like him.
He's a good guy. He's got a couple issues, but don't we all?
I've always found him to be pleasant to talk to. It's just like, what's his name? Dungeons and Diversity.
Yeah,
is that his name. Every time we're on here and he pops in, nice guy, easy going, does nothing to piss me off. Seems like a decent dude. You know what I mean?
He really is.
Yeah. So you know what? That to me is worth gold compared to some of the assholes I've met online.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of that dude. He lives in PA. He works as a CPA somewhere. He's got kids in college. I mean, he's your average American.
You talking Double D?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times.
I've only ever talked to him here, but he seems like a nice guy. Easy going.
It's just his show is either one of two things. It's on 30 minutes before Salty Cracker. I never miss Salty Cracker. Never will. Never have. Been there since like damn near day one with his show. And even though Salty will never acknowledge anything unless you do a super chat because he's got 30,000 people in the chat. With Double D's show, it's kind of like for the same reason I stopped listening to Max Liao's show when before he changed. It was just so negative, just ragging on people that are screwing up or being stupid or being woke or whatever. I get that.
I don't know.
No, listen, like I said, Double D seems like a really nice guy. Every time I've had conversations with him, nice guy. His show, not for me. That's the way it is. I just don't like the format.
Creative, just to
lads, for the love of Jesus, mute yourself if you're going to yell at someone.
I'm sorry, I thought I did.
Yeah, it's just too much negativity.
It's not negativity. He's just laughing at retards.
Well, yeah, but that makes me, it adds more people to the list of people I can't stand or things that piss me off or things that are going on that are, not good. Whereas, on my show, I try to promote cool stuff and cool people, and we rarely, occasionally we'll go off into politics, but I just don't need any more of that in
I wander into politics more often than I would like, and I actually don't want to be. If I wanted to do a political show of James's punditry on politics, I'd make it a whole different show.
Right, Jackie and I almost did that, and we both came to the conclusion we just don't want to do that. It's just
it's not something I want to do. I would much rather talk about Sydney Sweeney's boobs or what game we're going to play.
I never heard of the chick until like a month ago.
Really? No, and you've been under a rock.
Well, I don't watch TV.
I think I saw her in a movie, but I didn't know who she was. She played in
Madame Mask. She was in Madame Mask.
Never saw her.
In this one, she played this nun that went to this place where they were like actually satanic and trying to use the nuns to clone Jesus or some shit. And in the end, she had to escape.
Oh, wow.
And she gave birth to a monster and she crushed it with a rock and then ran away.
Like you do.
Yeah, I had no idea who she was. but she pisses the right people off because of that
And
stupid commercial.
she's not. When I think of beautiful women, I that's they don't tend to look like her. Let's put it that way. Um, I like darker women, darker hair, stuff like that. And like you said, she just pisses off the right people. So I'm like, go girl, do whatever you want to do. She likes Mustangs, so like,
Yeah,
props for
she
that.
actually.
What happened to James?
That's her hobby, working on muscle cars.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
other
that's the kind
interesting
of chick.
thing about her is in interviews, she has said that she enjoys the male gaze. And when she does these photo shoots of her in the lingerie, like the one I posted, laying back on the couch looking all like, wow, she does that shit on purpose. She
Oh, yeah, well,
wants
they all
to
do.
that.
If they
You know
can,
what I'm
they
saying?
do. But I had to lump her in with the horse chicks because horse chicks and car chicks I don't mess with. They've got a screw
Well, I mean,
loose. It may not be readily apparent, but yeah.
I mean, I got a daughter her age. That'd be weird.
Yeah, it's only men who have children who feel that way. I just want to point that out, by the way. Men who don't have
makes
daughters, we don't feel that way. We just go, fuck, she's hot, and that's it. And we're quite content with that theory.
Well, most of us know
Oh, no,
we
no.
don't have a snowball's chance in hell
Well,
hooking
exactly.
up with
But beyond that, it's just even the fantasy. Like I have friends who have daughters, and they went from being horn dogs to not horn dogs because they have a daughter now, and it's like this switch. that flicks
Well,
in their head.
I think there may be a couple of different things going on there. Some of them are good, a couple of them not so good. But I've always
What the fuck are you psychoanalyzing my friends who you've never met? What are you talking about,
no,
Shadow?
just general.
I assure you, there's nothing wrong with these men. They're just very protective of their daughters, and as a result, they become very protective of girls in general.
I meant like a guilty conscience. Maybe they did something back in the day.
Jesus, Shadow, no.
You just basically accused a bunch of dudes of possibly being pedophiles.
Yeah.
Oh
Come on,
no.
man.
It was a broad brush like yesterday. Everybody's got a skeleton or two in their closet. If they say they don't, they're lying.
Yours has a cock. Shut
Yeah,
up.
my skeletons all involve violent actions, not sexual assault.
All my skeletons are about people I had to hurt. Not about fucking that. Jesus.
There's
But then again, you live in California, so it does make sense.
That's fair. That is fair. You do live in California. Now, I worked in the film industry. You would think I would have some of that shit in my past, but I don't because I was the guy who didn't. That's not who I am. But my buddy put it best. He said, being a father of a girl changed something in his perspective. He was out one night to get a pack of cigarettes at the gas station or the convenience store. He goes in, he walks out. It's like -5 or something like that. Like, I don't know what that is in American, but it's like -5. He goes, and these 4 20-something-year-old girls come walking in wearing mini skirts and fucking halter tops and stuff. And he goes, and instead of me thinking, he goes, and it was really funny. He goes, I noticed instead of thinking, damn, those are some good-looking ladies, I thought, Jesus, are you cold? Put a fucking coat on. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fair. That's a change in mentality.
To me, Westerners have daughters and see that as reason to start shitting on men. You know what? I have a Spanish friend who married a woman that is literally 30 years younger than him, and I don't crap on him, Andre. It's not my business.
Yeah.
You know why I would never date a young girl? Because I did that before. When I was 29, I dated a 20-year-old. And I will never do that shit again because young girls are a pain in the freaking ass. And then I raised Stu. And they're the reason I'm gray haired. If it weren't for my daughters, I would still have my lustrous black hair.
Yeah, I did the whole Harrison Ford thing. I dated a 19-year-old when I was 34.
Yeah, it's like
hell of a time. But
date some girl that you can't take out to the bar because she can't legally drink in the pub.
Oh, it's 18 where I am, so we're good.
Yeah, but America.
Oh, come on. That was a little fucking funny.
It
Come
was.
on. Jesus Christ. Such a hard crowd today. Oh, my God.
Now, I mean, let's be honest. If I was trapped on an island and was never getting off of it, and the other person trapped on the island was any of the women on the list I made, yeah, okay, yeah, it's fair game. But you know,
Yeah, my problem is if I was trapped on an island and la 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 la, they would all discover their lesbianism immediately, and I'd be just left sitting on a fucking tree eating fruit. You know what I mean? Some big pale.
That's weird because when I was thinking the same scenario, I was thinking, oh dear God, if she gets pregnant, I'm fucked. I don't
See,
want
I
to have
have
to
two
deliver a
daughters.
baby.
And one of them's been pregnant 5 times, and the other one twice. And I'm happy as hell. I got a 10-year-old grandson, looks just like me. Because you know that weird thing where certain like genetic whatever skip a generation,
Mhm.
and like I'm one of those. I look a lot more like a grandparent than I do my actual parents.
So okay, so you know how they talk about how in movies they always go, oh, they're supposed to be teenagers, or they look 30. Go find on YouTube. There's a bunch of them. Videos shot of high school kids in like 86 to 89 era. We looked like we were in our 30s and our late 20s when we were in grade 10 and 11. We didn't
And
look
we were
young.
smoking and drinking wild turkey in the woods.
Yeah.
And now they don't see
It's
as
like-
much. It's amazing how the current generation of like high schoolers are so straight laced or so incredibly ghetto.
And they look so young. That's the other thing. I see these fucking. I was a
Right?
bouncer. Remember, I was a bouncer, and like you used to be like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see your ID, and then you catch the girl that's 16, but she looks 21. You know, and it's like, holy fuck. Now, you give me some ID, and they're like, oh, and they're like 28, and you're like, you look like you're fucking 13. What the fuck happened to our diet? Like,
Well, it's
what
not just the diet. It's not just the diet. It's the lifestyle of coming home from school and sitting down for the rest of the day in front of a screen. They
I
have
think
no
with a
life.
lot of women, it's
They have no
because
outside activity experience.
a lot of women are vegans because veganism tends to be a first world female issue. And I think that F's them up. I have a daughter, teach middle school and don't shit on people or have a guilty conscience. Yeah, exactly.
Coco's good
I
people.
don't have
That's the
any
thing.
guilty conscience.
Coco is very good people. Coco is a chill motherfucking dude who puts up with a lot of people's bullshit more so than even I will. And like, it amazes.
Sorry, Coco. It's just my personal experience. I have never met anybody that didn't have something they didn't want out.
Well, no one here said we didn't have secrets we wouldn't like to advertise. We just said that we weren't like thinking naughty thoughts about 16-year-olds.
Exactly.
And I'm not. Like when I look at Sydney Sweeney, I'm not lusting in my heart. I'm saying she's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I look at
I
Ryan
agree.
Gosling and I say that's a handsome man, that don't mean I'm gay and I want to sleep with him. It just means I think Ryan Gosling is a handsome man.
Well,
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Ryan Gosling is a handsome man. Everybody thinks he's so handsome. I'm like, really? He just looks like an asshole.
Look, I really, really liked Blade Runner 2047 or whatever.
Clearly 2049, but that's okay. Clearly you really liked it.
And Ryan Gosling was absolutely amazing and perfect in the role he played as Kay.
Okay.
yeah. I last time I remember seeing him, it was on something where he was much, much younger. And so when I think about him, that's what I think. And back then, he
young
kind
people way too much, dude.
of he had a well. That was when I was young. I watched TV. Now I don't. So a lot of my references,
that was
with
fun.
names, tend to go back pretty far.
I'm asking in the glow of my
Bruce
burn.
looking for those incompatible women. Yeah, I was there, Bruce. You know? Because there's something in my brain that I was born with that told me that I had to be a hero. And part of the hero complex is you can fix them. But you know what? Eventually, about 28, 29, after 2 divorces and various other horrible relationships, you start realizing you can't fix them.
Oh yeah, no. 3 narcissists in a row taught me fuck that. So now I'm like really not toxic, but like I'm not handsome enough for the attitude or rich enough for the attitude I pull with women now. Because now I'm just like they start their bullshit. I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. I'm not interested in listening to that. Shut the fuck up. And I don't have the money or the looks to pull that attitude off, right? So, oops.
Apparently, you would be right in. The wife and I were watching this thing, and they're interviewing this girl, and yeah, she was cute, like upper mid, so say 6'7".
Yeah.
And they're like, so what kind of guys do you like? And she's like, she started laughing. She's like, to be honest, assholes. and the guy was like, what do you mean? And she's like, if a guy is nice to me, it makes me not want to date him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, so you want a guy that'll walk up and just say, what's up, bitch? And she's like, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, wow, that girl's got some issues. You don't.
Wait,
don't
no,
wanna touch
it's
on
really
that.
how they're. It's really how they're wired.
Yeah, that's not a current development, James. That's an ongoing human condition.
Yeah. They're wired to not only continually look for more and better protection, but any guy who acts like that has got no worries. He's not gonna smother her with
It's so funny because Shadow,
tension.
I know what you're saying, even though it sounds like you don't. Because she said basically the same thing.
Well, I'm trying to watch what I say.
She said basically the same thing, which was, she wanted an asshole who also had a high body count, because why would she want a man that no other woman ever wanted?
Mhm.
And also an asshole is a better protector than some super nice guy.
But you still you have to be packaged right to be
I
that
still
asshole.
think she's crazy though.
And you still have to be packaged in the right format. And if you don't have the packaging, you don't have the fucking finances.
Daryl, I have 2 divorces to prove that I do know how common that is. And a number of other incredibly horrible relationships that didn't quite make it to the marriage and divorce phase. Oh yeah, I know. I dated a girl who couldn't orgasm unless you beat her on her back with a jacket with big buttons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like doggy style, you had to
Who fucked her up?
Oh yeah, she was.
My question is, or the answer to me seems obvious. It would be like, who didn't fuck her up? Because that's just
Well, considering her dad ended up going to prison forever for pedestry. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I've
kind of
seen the wildest of the wild. You guys got to remember, especially Daryl, I'm talking to you, but all of you, you have to remember, I spent 10 years in the hardcore goth vampire scene in the 90s, like when it was real deal, painting your nails black and crazy shit.
Yeah, that's when you
I
just
knew people who actually drank each other's blood and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that too. It's just sickening.
And every one of those goth chicks had weird daddy issues or something. I mean, they were fun, and you might hang out with them and be like, "She's cool, but crazier than shit."
Yeah,
crazy,
and then eventually
man.
you meet a nice girl and you recognize her, and you're like, "Yeah, this one. That's what I want. I want the lady that'll cook me a freezer pizza and sit down and watch something on YouTube. I don't need the freak with the butt plugs that's got so many issues that she's banging the freaking lawn keeper because the only way she can get any validation for herself is to fuck somebody. Excuse my language.
Yeah, seriously, your language is reprehensible.
And you end up with that if you're not careful.
Well,
And
it's
it's
not
no
just
fun.
be careful. No. So I've said this many times. I quote Jim Cornette on this one, which is basically, I prefer an upfront cunt to an undercover cunt. Right? If she's a bitch and she shows that she's a bitch, I can get along with her. I can find a way to meet her common ground, whatever the case may be. Tell her to shut the fuck up, do whatever you got to do, and get along fine with her. The ones I can't stand are the undercover ones, the ones that act real nice, real sweet, and then when you're not looking, they blindside you with their country. You know what I mean? Those ones I fucking hate.
I know exactly what you mean, sir.
Oh, most men do.
Yeah.
Most men have been down that fucking road.
Because you start dating some chick and it's so great and you fall in love, and then all of a sudden 6 months in, some shit happens that just completely kicks you right in your nutsack.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what in the F happened here?
Yeah.
And
It was just, it was that day. You know, she set the timer and.
well, that particular one I'm talking about, it turned out was on a lot of lithium. I didn't know because she was schizophrenic. But she was hilarious to hang out with. We had great conversations about all the woo-woo shit Bear makes fun of with Raven. I mean, you know, she read tarot cards. She was super sweet. Yeah, she's schizophrenic. And people they don't understand schizophrenia. They don't understand that when they go off their meds and decide they're just going to drink, they lose touch with reality.
Oh no, reality fucking. So when I was in the 90s,
Right.
late 90s, early 2000s, I was working security in Vancouver, and they have this thing called it's now called something else. We used the Science Dome, and they had a demonstration that we all went and took, where they basically you put on this helmet, and it was like a video feed with sound, and it played two videos for you. One was a normal person walking through a store, and you just walk through, and you can hear people talking and all that kind of stuff, and it's really interesting, great, okay. And then they reset the video and go schizophrenic. And it's a fucking nightmare. Things are moving out of the corner of your eyes, and you're turning, you're hearing voices like right in your fucking ears and shit like that. Like, this is an amazing fucking demonstration. It was done by the BC Mental Health Association. And it was terrifying. It made me go like, wow, I have nothing but empathy for schizophrenic people.
Yeah.
Because to live like that is just wow, you know?
And the big problem is, I mean, no matter how much you love her, you can't deal with
You
that.
can't fix crazy, man.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Andre, you're in Russia though, and you're probably big, strong Russian man. So I mean,
Yeah, plus
you're
Russian
like,
women.
get out here, bitches. I don't care.
Russian women outnumber Russian men, so they're constantly fucking competing for the same guys. Number one. When I worked as a teacher and I'd see these Russian families, and there's going to be like this smoking hot chick and this troll of a husband, and I'm like, how the fuck do these Russian guys keep doing this? And then I found out later it's because
It's
Russian
like
women.
they can't keep getting away with it.
It's not right, man. It's not.
Well,
fair.
that's the other thing, you know, the other misconception. Women don't really. Our looks isn't in the top 10 priorities.
I don't know.
No, they're
Western
looking for
women, it
providers,
is. Outside of the West, you're right. Outside of the West, it's a completely different fucking story. Western civilization is so fucking superficial, Shadow, and you know it.
Yeah, well, like those street interviews where they interview some chick and they're all tens.
Humanity,
Like, you're 200.
we're already
pounds
cooked. We
overweight.
just don't
You are
realize
not a
it.
10.
Just by going by those kind of videos that you're talking about, James. Oh my God, people are retarded.
It's like, who told you were a 10? They call you the Destroyer. You have a title, the Destroyer.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Gorlock.
Gorlock, the
Yeah.
Destroyer.
Yeah. I saw that thing. I saw that thing on
100%.
the Crucible, and I'm just like, we're
That
cooked.
dude said he's 100% sure he could take any man from their wife. And I'm just like, that is some wild shit right there. But okay.
Shark.
Hey, what's up, Shark? My Marine
Hey, Shark.
cadre.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I dipped my toe into international dating a few years ago, like right around just before COVID started. And I was immensely popular in the Philippines and Colombia. Like, it was insane the amount of attention I'd get. And I was like, okay, this is just bullshit. This is just gaslighting. This is just green card bullshit and all this kind of stuff. Right? Like, that was the mentality I had.
You're big.
But as it progressed,
you got kind of
yeah.
a big nose. Filipino women like a very prominent nose.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, the
But
Colombian,
there's
I
that
asked one of the
lady, Filipino P, and she discusses dating and she explains it.
Yeah, well, listen, I asked one of the Colombianas, I'm like, what the fuck is this about? Why are, like, she goes, you need to understand Colombian men. I said, okay, explain to me. She goes, they fuck you, and then they go outside to work on their car and talk to their buddies about motorcycles. They have no interest in you beyond us as a sex toy.
base.
And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, that's what Colombian men are like. That's why there's a lot of single Colombian mothers, you know? And I'm like, wow, okay.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good life, really. I mean, just make sure the tortillas are done, lady. I'll be in a bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my wife wouldn't put up with that. But
She'd Viking your ass, dude. You know
yeah,
it.
you marry a Viking, you get the Viking. So, but yeah, Filipino women, we've talked about this before. What
Yeah.
Filipino men find attractive is like the opposite to what
Exact
Western men find
opposite.
attractive.
Yeah.
So they think we're sad going over there. Like, why are they taking all the ugly chicks? And we're like, oh, she's tall, she's slightly thin. Oh my God, you know, like, ooh,
Yeah,
she's
because they
hot
want a short, round, pale.
yeah, pale, and we're all looking at the tan chicks like, hey, look at that chick. She got
And then
brown
you've got
skin.
some freaking athletic, tan, kind of tallish.
Yeah.
And that's not a woman they want. And then you could look like
It is
Larry
getting
Bird, and they
much
think
harder
you're
over
the
there, though.
handsomest guy on the planet.
My problem with Filipinas is they're wonderful. Their hearts are so big. They'll fucking feed you until you die. You know, like they're amazing women, but they look like hobbits. They look
They
like
are very
children to
short.
me. I feel, and I'm 6'3", man. I feel real weird being around one of them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm with a child. You know what I mean?
One of my closest friends, when through Fire Academy and everything, Hermie was Filipino, and it was like when he took me to meet his parents and shit, it was like they adopted me.
Oh yeah.
You know, the next thing I know, I'm invited to all the barbecues. Like when his dad died, they invited me to the funeral. They're just like that. They're just good
they're
people,
very friendly and very family oriented people. When I was working at one of the call centers I was a trainer at, I had these 5 what I called my loyal Filipina ninjas. These 5 women that I had trained them, so they all bonded to me. So every fucking day they were showing up at my desk and handing me food. And one of the girls worked at Walmart part time, so she was always bringing me Walmart stuff like cookies or stuff. And I'm just like, ladies, stop trying to kill me, please. I'm diabetic. You're going to kill me. But it was good food, man. Like
Hermie's mom would make pancit, and she would make what's it called? It's where they take the whole pork shoulder and cut like grids into it and then deep fry it.
Lychee? What the fuck is it
called? Yeah, it's like leche, not leche because that's milk.
No, it's like lychee or lychee or something. Lechon. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
That's funny. I knew a black guy named LaShawn.
Well, it's like you've got the juiciest pork meat, but it's attached to a crispy pork rind.
Yeah.
It's like the craziest shit. It's just so good. And then, and they purple sweet potato pastries, because the purple sweet potato, apparently when you cook it, it's very, very sweet. So they'll stuff pastries and stuff with purple sweet potato. Climb a tall American like a monkey climbing a tree. Yeah, I bet. I mean, it don't matter how tall anybody is if you're laying down. That's what I've always been told. Yeah. Yeah, we've had this talk about the Filipinos. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't trade my Viking for anything, but I do not blame men who look around at the current lot of women walking around America today and say, yeah, I'm going to take my business elsewhere, because that's the American way. If you can't find the bargain you want where you are, you need to go find it where you can.
Yeah.
Lumpia, love that. Yeah. Oh, she made so much stuff. Oh man, dumplings. I mean, I think that even though they were from the Philippines, they were ethnically Chinese, and they all had Spanish names. And they didn't speak Spanish; they spoke the Filipino language, whatever it's called. Yeah. I mean, but they were just.
That's one of the languages. There's 1,000 islands over there.
Yeah, you got.
They were just the nicest human beings I've ever met. Like, just tucked and that was back when I was still working in the fire service. They tucked my big goofy white ass right in, and I was like,
Yeah, but you got to be careful if you're going to go do the passport bro thing. One, things have changed drastically over there, and two, be prepared to pay for literally everything.
Well, yeah,
Things you would never dream of.
that's the way it works.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
I mean everything I
everything
want
your
in
family
America,
needs.
it
You're
seems
paying
like
for.
I have
What's
to
up,
pay
Janet?
for.
Hey, Janet.
Janet, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that. I'm not trying to bust your balls, Shadow, but you got to pay for everything in America. So
Yeah,
that's not a good argument.
Since when?
Since forever, go anywhere and try and get something and see if you don't want. You're going to pay.
James, would you like to see a sneak peek of something I'm going to use to beat the shit out of my Monday night game? Oh, I can't. Janet's here and she plays in the Monday night game. I can't show you. Sorry. Oh.
Before you logged on, I was talking about the difference between running a fantasy game and a superhero game. Because in a superhero game, you actually have to give a shit about the motivation of the villain.
Well, yeah.
But in a dungeon crawl, you don't. I mean, who gives a fuck what the orcs think? They're just in a room playing knucklebones until the players kick the door in and murder them, right? But in a superhero game, you have to actually think about the villain, what they're going to be doing and why,
The most
and how the
fun
players
thing you
will
can
be
do.
interacting with this.
So the most fun thing you can do in a superhero game is fuck with their minds. Never mind whether or not they're going to beat the guy up in a fight. That's a foregone conclusion. It might be a tough fight. They might lose the first round, then they'll come back. That's whatever. But you have to fuck with their heads. So they don't really know what's going on. They don't know which way is up, which way is down. Things they think are real are suddenly not real. You know, people that were their allies are suddenly their enemies. People who were enemies are suddenly their allies. And then they never know what to fucking do. And that's when you have the most fun.
I've said it a million times.
Janet, like
Superhero games are some of the most challenging for everybody involved.
Andre, I have heard that Poland
Janet, you don't have to leave.
wonderful, and I've also heard that Hungary is absolutely amazing. Not to
I'll tell you
get
this.
necessarily, but just to visit.
Based on experiences, Romanian women are fucking amazing until they decide you've crossed some invisible line you didn't know they had laid down, and then suddenly you're the devil and you're worthless to them. But like, it's amazing. Up until that point, they fucking love bomb the shit out of you. And then, oh, well, you crossed the line and now you're a worthless piece of shit. What? What the fuck happened? You dared to shed a tear for your dead mother, you know, like something like that. Like, it's insane.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah, Janet, you don't have to leave. Yeah, no, I'm really
why
actually
would
looking forward
Janet
to the
ever
Monday night
have to
game.
leave?
No, she was like, I'll go water, go take care of the chickens or something. It's like, no.
Oh, because you said the. But yeah, I mean, so depending on what your superheroes are, that's going to determine your villain, and then you're gonna have to come up with a whole reason, and maybe he's got a bunch of henchmen or robots or clones. I mean, you can get really nuts with the superheroes game.
Or maybe he's
Tell you
just
guys.
smart. He's like, one punch will knock him out, but he's smart.
Yeah,
knows
like
how to
Mr.
think.
Glass.
Exactly. He knows how to think around them. He knows how to create scenarios, situations. That is the ultimate undoing of the average superhero because they're ready to punch their way through things.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta
You wonder where that flute sound is coming from.
in the dungeon. Yeah, it's like
Janet, poor Janet's never living that down.
yeah.
Janet, don't ever get upset about that because you're never living it down. That's fucking eternal now.
She was doing her best to help her group.
Yep.
Good for you,
Yep.
Janet.
Yeah,
I was just talking about the other day that why I don't run like prefab modules and stuff because I had a bad experience with someone who went out and bought it just so that they would know everything that's happening. And from that point on, it's like you're never gonna know because I'm gonna write it all myself. And good luck getting in here.
Oh, I don't think it'd be hard. I've got an axe. I'm pretty sure would do the job.
I can't share from fucking Chrome, but I found the picture of the girl playing the flute crying.
Yeah. The poor bard, the whole group's getting murdered, and they're just crying.
It's just,
All the
it's
bark
just,
do.
it's just playing the flute that says your entire party dying, and this is all you can do because you wanted to play the fucking bard.
Yeah. There's another one, and it's like a little blonde guy, and he's got a guitar, and he's like falling, and he's playing the guitar, and it's the same thing. It's like your whole party's being murdered, and all you can do is play your stupid song. It's like, oh man, that shit is too real. See, I played a game with a bard once that was actually super smart. Like, she used the grease spell to great effect numerous times, and like, you know, was kind of a super backup healer, and also a super backup thief because, you know, she wasn't good at it, but she could give it a shot. This is in 3.5, you know.
Janet, I'm going to correct something you just said there, which was you said they did not listen when I told them not to open the door. Can we just back that entire sentence up to they did not listen and leave it at that? That entire campaign, James watched it. James saw that game.
I watched
No
it.
one
That shit was
was
hilarious.
listening to anyone. Everyone was just doing their own shit, and it was just insane. Fuck.
That was the best live play I've ever seen in my entire life.
God.
I was rolling. I mean, I was full on belly laughs. I was like, this shit is hilarious.
But yeah,
Oh my God,
James,
it was so funny.
before when you were talking about the bard doing really good, I was gonna say, yeah, also counter charm, but you said 3.5, so I don't think counter charm.
No,
was
they
in
did.
3.5.
They did have a counter charm in 3.5. They could play a song that would
Counter
make
song,
it where
yeah.
your party couldn't be effed with by harpies and shit.
Yep. Okay.
But I mean, she used her instrument less and her spells more.
Yeah.
And skills more. I mean, she did use her songs and stuff occasionally, but really it was her spell list and her skills. And like when you see like 4 ogres are charging down the hall at you, and you're like, grease. And then the ogres all have to make deck saves. And the next thing you know, 4 ogres are slipping sliding down the hall towards you, which means all the fighters get bonuses because the ogres are prone.
Unless I missed my guess, by the way, Janet was the only one whose character didn't die in the OSC when we were playing OSC.
Yeah, I don't think she did
She
because
kept living.
was
The rest of them
up
all
the
kept dying
rope.
around her, though.
Yeah, she was up the rope, leaning down through the opening, playing the flute,
Yeah.
Oh,
while everyone in downstairs is just getting wrecked.
Well, she was the reason they had to fight a troll too, because she kept calling goblins trolls, and then Nersner threatened. She's like, "How much do I have to super chat to make a troll appear?" And I'm like, "I don't know, $25." So she's like, "If she says troll one more time, I'm doing it." And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, "You gotta be careful because there's trolls. I mean goblins." And super fucking nerds is like, $25. Go, go, gadget troll.
Yeah.
And trolls are no joke at any level.
nope.
Yeah.
Good damage output, regeneration. Just not a fun time.
It's because Bruce is playing Pathfinder, not OSC. What do you want me to do? I didn't make
Oh,
the game.
Bear, you should hear some of the crazy things I did in my last session of Bubba's game.
Yeah,
We
you're
went-
playing Dragon Slayer.
Yep. We got caught by a second spectator. Thought we were gonna die. I ran up and threw sand in its face.
Yeah, Bubba was telling me about that yesterday on the show we did together. That's genius, dude.
I can tell
Best
you about
Buster
my
did
last
that.
game. Some people got invited to a wealthy dinner at a palace, and a housekeeper in the housekeeping staff got caught out for being a spy. But then the Mentats double teamed her and ended up breaking her spirit and turning her into basically a double agent.
Shut up, Mapes.
Yeah. So my game is a lot more boring sounding than your guys' game, but there's a lot going on, you know.
The game Coco plays in my Friday night game, they're very quickly learning that they stomped their foot in the wrong fucking puddle.
Hey, if
They're
you
like,
can't see
why-
the bum in
why is
puddle,
the syn-
assume there's an alligator in it.
Well, so for my world, in my campaign, North America, there are no ethnic mafias anymore. They've all formed one thing called the Syndicate, which is basically that way they don't go to war with each other. And they thought they were just intimidating the local syndicate guy over something, and now bodies are stacking it up, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on? What did we do?" It's so much fun.
Well, what kind of game is it?
Superheroes,
Super.
heroic. I got 2 campaigns I'm running right now. Got a third one starting next week, though. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, every other week, I do a heroic game.
William, I'm sorry you haven't been able to play for years. I will tell you this, though. If you ever want to play online, there are multiple people.
Yeah.
I got to
that
go
are
throw my
always
stuff
putting
together. I'll be
together
right back.
online games. And all you have to do is be cool. You know, don't be a jerk. That was Doc. It's always Doc. Yeah, I remember in the OSC game, Doc was he was really doing his thing too, I think. But well, that just goes to show what happens when the party don't all stick together and work in unison. Versus, you know, I mean, you think in the fire service we call it freelancing because you're never supposed to do anything alone. You're always supposed to have a partner with you. And saying somebody was freelancing during a fire call is like a big insult, really. But it's also a way to like rein somebody in and say, you need to stop freelancing. You're going to get somebody killed. I mean, hopefully it'll be you, but imagine how you're going to feel if it ain't, if it's someone else, you know. Then, you know, you'll know, and that'll be the end of your career because you won't be able to keep working knowing that your freelancing bullshit got one of your bros killed.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah,
And
do that.
D&D is much the same as being a firefighter. You work together, you follow the plan, and you get the shit done. And then you get out as quick as possible. And also, you never enter anywhere without knowing you can get out of it. And if that means that one of the players has to carry a bunch of wooden wedges in a pouch and wedge every freaking door open as you're moving through the dungeon, do it. I mean, my fire helmet, which is on the wall, when I used to work, I had a big rubber band around it and I had wedges tucked into it. I had 3. If I opened a door in a house fire, I would open it fully and I'd grab one of those piece of shit wood wedges and pop her in there, right? That door wasn't closing for nothing. And they're easy to make. I mean, all you got to do is get a 2x4 and start cutting little ramps out of them, you know?
You just buy shims, right?
Yeah. Or you could. You got to take off left?
No, I just saying what you were saying. They're not hard to make.
Yeah, I mean, even in a medieval era game, all you got to do is get a branch that's a good 2 inches across and just cut that shit, you know, into a wedge and then cut it off and then cut the next piece into a wedge and cut it off. Carry a couple of them in your pocket. If you got a warhammer or a mace on you, I mean, you're good. You're good as gold, man. You open the dungeon door, you take your wedge, pop her, you know.
Yeah, well, in D&D it was always iron spikes, but
it's so, yeah, but I mean, in real life, it's so much easier just to pull a wedge out of your helmet and just go boom. Maybe kick it with your boot or hit it with your Haugen tool, and you're good. You know, so yeah, wedge every freaking door open. Never go anywhere if you know you can't. If you think you can't get out, and back up your team's play always. Yeah, that's how I do it. What calendar month am I? Oh, do you mean my birthday? Daryl, are you a 25-year-old like chick? You want to know my astrological sign?
Oh, yeah, astrology, racism for women.
It probably is, but
it's absolute
20-something-year-old chicks love astrology.
Absolute horseshit nonsense. But you know, I tend to be worried about it because as a Cancer, you know.
I I don't think it's true, but I've read a lot of Carl Jung, and some of his theories get into like archetypes based on the month you were born. Like the month I was born in Carl Jung's theories, I would be classified as a warrior archetype. But
you know what I find perplexing with all of that kind of generalizing is there's never like the you were born in August, you're a douchebag. It's always positive, so everybody buys into it no matter what. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it now, Daryl. No, I was never handsome enough to be on the calendars. Pretty much everyone I worked with was way more handsome than me. My nickname, actually, some idiots actually put the stickers on the back of my helmet, was the Wizard, because I worked with a bunch of rednecks and I accidentally let slip that I used to read a lot of fantasy and play D&D and stuff. So I immediately become the Wizard forever.
Nothing wrong with that. Worst nicknames you could have had.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, my buddy, whose name happened to be what it was, he become Bootstrap. Because when your name is William Turner, guess who you get to be? Bootstrap Bill Turner forever.
I don't get that one. What's that from?
Pirates of
the Caribbean.
Oh, that's why I don't get it, because I don't give a fuck.
Right. And then
I watched the first Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've always hated Johnny Depp to begin with, and I'm like, this is trash.
He speaks so highly of you, though.
I don't understand that dude. He's a good old boy from Kentucky. It's like you'd think he'd be smarter, but I guess California ruined him.
Well, that and heroin.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't like the movies. It's not because I don't like Johnny Depp. I just don't give a fuck about pirates.
I kind of dig pirates, which is why behind me you can see all of my fleet of pirates.
It depends.
The Age of Sail was a fun time to fantasize about, I guess.
No women, scurvy, brutal discipline. Yeah, what a great fucking time to be out there.
I'm just saying, fictionalized version of it. Come on.
Bad food, brutal fucking officers.
Rampant homosexuality.
Horrifically rampant.
What are you guys talking about?
The Age of Sail.
Pirates. Yeah.
Oh.
So I have no fucking interest in pirates. I've never had an interest in pirates. I don't give a fuck about pirates.
So
and I had to live. And I also don't give a fuck about Japan at the end of the day. Like, I have nothing against Japan, but I don't give a fuck about samurai and ninja either, right? I mean, whatever. I grew up in the 80s, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Then I get to the fucking 2000s, and suddenly everything is ninjas and pirates in pop culture. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with people?
Here's a possible reason. Everywhere but in reality, you can change all those negative factors and make it and keep the best things of whatever genre you're talking about: ninjas, pirates, dinosaurs. Like with my high speed adventure game, because the population is so microscopic. You have men and women on shipboard. I don't have any of that nonsense or women are bad luck, mentality.
Are you talking about your Butt Pirates of Gay Water campaign?
There's nothing gay about it. It's been running
Andre,
2 years straight.
He was a slow developer in high school.
Because he doesn't get those references for Janet?
Well, he's Russian. He maybe never heard that.
That's true.
I mean,
means she had small boobs, Andre. That's what that means.
She was probably flatter chested than me. So.
Oh my God, I have a fur chest.
But now when you see her on Bruce's show, you can see that she was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
If that's not being too personal, Janet. And if it is, I apologize. But, so to get back to what we were talking about before I end the show.
Oh, I gotta go.
Um,
I'll see you.
Catch you later,
And
homie.
then he's gone like a puff of smoke in the night.
Hit that eject button, baby. he's like, so long, goose. Anyway, the whole Maverick reference, right? But yeah, I'm just starting to be more interested in games that are more difficult to play and run.
The superheroes will fulfill all of that.
Well, right now it's Dune, but maybe superheroes in the future. Well, I don't want to be too informal with you, Janet. I mean, you know, first off, I'm married and my wife will murder me. And secondly, you know, I don't want to be too like informal, I guess, with somebody. So that's why I apologize, because because my mama raised me right, and she taught me how to treat ladies, even the ones that I'm not married to, with politeness and respect, and to always call them ma'am, which I stopped doing a while back when I got like 50, but for the longest time, every woman was ma'am, because I mean, you know, I'm a Southerner. That's what we do. But yeah, I just, you know, I don't want to overstep bounds because I am a perpetual line crosser.
I'm a Canadian, man. We appreciate women who can ride the ice floe and fight fucking polar bears, eh?
Hey, yeah, right. It's like, I'm not dating a woman unless she can play guard, eh?
Listen. If she can't chug a fucking 2-4 in the course of a night and still drive you home, what the fuck's the point with her, eh? I mean, come on.
Yeah, right.
Christ almighty, you want that lady that can handle the wheel when you hit the black ice. That's for fucking sure.
And it's like, if she don't wake you up with a box of Tim Hortons donuts, then what's the whole point, eh?
What the fuck's wrong with you, a box of donuts? Jesus, bring me a Timbit and a two a double-double. I'll be fine, fuck.
Ah, it's man.
You guys did double-double?
Yeah,
then?
that's that. We all remember that, Andre. That's an
It's
embarrassment on the
ma'am.
entirety of Western civilization.
It's ma'am.
1,000 years in the future, people will be looking back at that and say, this is during what we now call the crazy ages,
Right?
where all of the West decided science no longer mattered, and nor did your own eyeballs. You know, we were just going to make believe everything, you know, like the crazy ages. I love that.
Ma'am.
Well, what they call that in Futurama, the stupid age.
Yeah, the stupid age.
Yeah, they called the 20th and 21st century the stupid ages.
They weren't wrong.
They weren't far off, no.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Yeah, well, we go. Hey, you know what's funny? I forget who told me this, but I was like trying to pitch the whole Blade Runner game, and they were like, you know, you're already living in a dystopian future, so why would you want to play a role playing?
That's why I don't play Cyberpunk anymore. I'm already in the dystopian.
It's like you're already there. I mean, they're already.
And I didn't get any of the
things
cool
into your
shit. I
brain
got no
and shit.
cyber limbs, no net space. I'm like, what the fuck, brother?
It's like we already live in a dystopian future. And we did it to ourselves. Like back in the 50s when everybody's like, oh my God, I would never allow anything in my house that could record me. Fast forward 2025, everyone's got Alexa listening in all the time. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I still don't get how anybody would want that. I just don't get it.
What?
Why you'd want, like Alexa? I get it. We've all got our cell phones and tablets and stuff
Oh,
listening
yeah,
to
cell
it.
phones.
Well,
They can track you wherever you go
yep.
all the time, 24/7.
Everything, everywhere you go, everything you look at, everything you say, it's frightening how retarded we all are.
Shark, what you're describing in my experience is Southern women. And especially if they're older than you, then you will always be sugar, sweetie, honey, something like that to them. but they'll always be ma'am to you because they're older than you. That they like to call people sweetie.
Okay.
You call people sweetie sometimes. And that they get to be called ma'am because you respect them, or your mom will beat you with a cast iron skillet. And that's not fun. You know, one of those
It's
10-inch cast iron
ma'am.
skillets can do damage. You know what
Hello,
I'm saying?
I am a ma'am. How
Yeah,
are you?
that fucking idiot. Thank God we don't have to pretend anymore. I mean, I don't care if they want to pretend as long as they don't try to make me pretend. It's like, play whatever game you want, but don't try to make me a player in your game. I don't want to play that game. But yeah, you'll be sugar, you'll be sweetie, you'll be honey. Also, if you remember the original X-Men, not 97, but the one that came out when I was like a kid. What's her name? Rogue always called everyone honey.
Okay. First of all, you weren't a kid because it was in the 90s, so you're in your 20s because you're a year younger than me. Second of all,
okay.
the best one is never mind sugar, sweet, all that. It's absolutely always going to be sweetie, darling, darling, sweetie, honey, sweetie, darling, sweetie. And if you don't know what that reference is, you missed out on the greatest Britcom of the fucking 90s.
It sounds like something that
Absolutely fabulous.
Abfab, exactly. Abfab was so fucking good.
What's up, Satya? How you doing?
It was good.
So
Hair trim, not shaved. Jesus Christ, you're still fucking furry, fucking people.
my southern wife calls me a penguin.
Goddamn penguin.
Do you wear suits a lot, or you just eat a lot of fish? I mean,
Do you walk funny? Do you tend to sit on eggs? What? Why?
But yeah, Rogue was always calling everyone sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah, because she was the Georgia peach of the group.
Yeah, I love that term, Georgia peach.
And then the other one that was super cool, of course, was Remy Lemieux.
Yeah, that was always the laziest fucking. That was the problem with 90s Marvel relationships. So it's like this. Okay, Rogue's from the South, and he's from the South, so clearly they should be into each other. And let's see, Storm's black and Black Panther's black, therefore they should be into each other. It's like, what lazy fucking writing? You know what I mean?
Wasn't she? I thought she was hooked up with Forge for a good long time.
She was, but then they went and made her fucking the queen of fucking Wakanda. And the same thing with
When
Rogue.
was that?
She was oh, dude, read some comics. Same thing with Rogue. She was with Magneto when she came back from the Siege Perilous, and I was like, God damn, that's a really good story. And then boom, no, it's all about Remy. It's like, oh, fuck off. I fucking hate Gambit so much.
Oh,
It's like flames at the side of my head.
Gambit is not only super cool, but Chatham Tatum, or whatever his name is, that played him in the last Deadpool, did an excellent job.
Yeah, whatever. I fucking can't stand Gambit.
But he did do a really good job. And
I
then,
like
of course,
Gambit.
they had Blade in the movie, too.
I like
Wesley
Gambit
Snipes playing
until he went up to Rogue. When he was with Storm, I liked Gambit a lot when he was with Storm.
But when Storm was a little girl,
remember
or shrunk down.
After when she was re-adultized and they were kind of having a thing for a while, it was like, that's a good relationship. Keep that going. No. We got to put the Southerners with the Southerners. We got to put the black people with the black people. It's just like, what the fuck? What is going on in comics all of a sudden? Like the most insane segregation I've ever seen. You know, it's really dumb.
You know, only a Canadian would notice that. I didn't even know they were dating.
You didn't even read the comics. You just watch the fucking shows. You don't even read the comics. What do you know? You don't know anything. You admitted you don't read comics.
That's true. I don't even read the comics. Everything I know is from the cartoons I've watched.
Exactly.
So
every day I spend about an hour or a half hour rebagging my collection because it's been decades since I put them in. You know, you got to change the bags and boards, and so every day I don't go through the comics, but I see the cover and I remember the cool shit. And just yesterday, I picked up the cover with Gambit and Storm on it when Storm was a little kid, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that!" You know,
I'm rereading the Jeff Johns Justice League with like Stargirl and all that stuff when like Black Adam was a member and things like that. It's really good. It's been a really good read so far.
Did you ever read?
Sorry, Justice Society. Ugh.
Did you ever read Green Arrow Longbow Hunters?
Of course, I read Longbow Hunters.
See, I didn't.
Are
And
you kidding, dude? That's like when they remembered that Black Canary wears a wig, and she was super hot with her wig off and her short black hair.
so it was good.
Longbow Hunters is a damn good series.
The only trade paperbacks I ever read were from DC, and it was The Dark Knight Returns and Sandman.
And Sandman is
Requiem for a Dream.
I was looking at getting the Longbow Hunters in the omnibus, and it's one of the most expensive ones of all time.
dude. I
Janet likes Morbius, Wolverine, and Deadpool. The Wolverine has got to be the most popular X-Men.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody loves Wolverine. I mean, even before Hugh Jackman played him, people loved Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would never say Deadpool's one of my favorite. He's fun though, in doses. Honestly, my favorite X-Men is Colossus.
favorite X-Men.
Mine was Cyclops for the longest time.
Oh, Cyclops.
Now I'm going to say same here. It was when they did that X-Men crossover, or not crossover. Remember when they stopped in the middle of the season or the year and went into that alternate dimension, and suddenly Wolverine and Jean Grey are a thing?
No, of course not. I've never read comics.
Oh, you're talking about Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, whatever that crap.
I
was.
remember I had no idea what was going on. I literally walked into the store. I was visiting my parents for that summer, and I walk into the store where they have comic books, and I see this thing, Age of Apocalypse. I'm like, all right. And I noticed all the other titles. I'm like, okay. And I started buying them all. And by the time it was over, I had bought all of them and read the whole thing. But I had not read all of the story leading up to it, where Legion accidentally kills his father and all that shit. I didn't read any of that, so I had no idea what was going on. It was just, why is everything in the fucking Marvel universe changed to this? But it was a great fucking run.
That was when I quit. That was when I quit reading.
Maybe a little adult, but it is a good series. If the comic books are anything like the HBO animated movie,
They are not.
You will love it.
They are not. I will spare you now.
And
Are they
it's
better?
not the. It's not the. What was it? It's not the investment that it was touted to be as well. I mean, you could pick up a #1 Spawn for like $20. Killing Joke is fucking awesome, but my favorite
Yeah.
Batman is always
Does it
going
with
to
the
be.
crowbar?
Killing Joke was all right. I don't know. I think it's overrated.
My favorite was Year One.
I think my internet's messed
James
up
is
because we got
freezing.
storm rolling in.
Yeah, and that's actually my sign to go because it's after 5. I got to go eat. So, bye, guys. I'll be like Lethis. I'll be like, I gotta go.
Because I know James said he was going to shut the show down in a minute. So, James, good seeing you again. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Depends on the schedule.
If you're coming in anyway, but it was great having you on. I really appreciate it.
Good luck and take care, brother.
And
Thanks.
Hospice favorite
Say hey to your
superhero
brother for
was
me. I'm going to give him a
Nightcrawler.
call.
Just FYI, Nightcrawler was my brother's favorite superhero. Colossus was mine, but whatever.
Favorite superhero, Moon Knight from Marvel.
Moon Knight, that is such a deep cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
That's
just came
not one
across
you
my
hear
first
about.
appearance of Moon Knight this morning, and Cha-Ching, Happy Camper. It's like a $2,000 comic book.
Oh my god! I've got all of the individual first printings of the Watchmen series.
Ooh. Okay, I'm jealous. I all I've got is a trade paperback. I worked in a comic book store, and the owner would not let me buy them because he said they were all already pre-sold.
I also have the first 5 Tick comic books.
I sold mine. Wish I had never done it, but I will get them back. Watchmen, not so sure.
And I did lie. There was two comic books I read: Savage Sword of Conan and Poison Elves by Drew Hayes.
I'm rereading Savage Sword of Conan through the omnibus right now.
All right.
One of the
So
best.
anyway, peace and love, everybody.
Take
Andre,
care. Weather the
have a
storm,
good
brother.
one.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Sasha. Yep. Janet, all of you who stopped in and made this fun and talked about superheroes, even though I don't know anything about superheroes, but if I do run a superhero game, then, you know, that'll be so different than a D&D game. It'll be crazy. But anyway, you know, you guys are cool. I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. Bye-bye. Satya, sleep well in your... See, I don't know what Finland looks like now, but in my imagination, it looks like pine trees covered in snow. But then Bear told me the other day that Montreal was like 100 degrees. So I don't know anything anymore. Like all the lands I thought were always frozen apparently get hot. But anyway, sleep well and don't let the gnomes get you. And Andre, sleep well and eat lots of samichi and have fun squatting on the subway. And everyone else who is American and don't get a lot of those references, you guys have a wonderful week.